What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp. We are just a couple days away from AEW's All Out. I'm joined by a guy you all know. You've seen me on screen with him. We're frenemies. Lukewarm. Luke Owen, how are you?
I'm very, very well, thank you. Possibly my greatest frenemy of all time, Sean. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing is the real
Hey,
question.
I'm excited to keep my job this weekend.
There you go. You've got a bit of a predictions competition with Mr. Davis in your own right, but why don't you give the fans what they want? You know what they want to hear from you.
Yeah, they want to hear what my predictions are
Well, they
for
want
AEW All Out.
they want you to cue them to give you a yes, please.
Oh, well, obviously. Give me a yes, please.
That's
Obviously
what
want a yes, please.
That's what we want in the comments. That's what we want in the chat. We want a yes, please, and what you all want are our predictions. So we're gonna go ahead and make them. AEW All Out 2020. We got the Mimosa Mayhem match. Orange Cassidy, Chris Jericho. Can't pretend I'm too excited about this. But I'm not going to write out the realm of possibility that Mike Tyson shows up, knocks out Chris Jericho into a pit of mimosa. How do you see this one going? I think OC's winning this.
I've got OC to win this one as well. Like, my cynical worry of this match is that Jericho is going to win by pinfall or submission, but then OC and best friends throw him into the mimosa anyway. So we get the visual of him being in the mimosa, but Jericho still picks up the win. That's my cynical worry of this. But yeah, I've got to think that Orange Cassidy's picking up the win by making the heel get their comeuppance.
Yeah, I kind of hope they avoid the 50-50 because I would love to see Jericho just downtrodden and depressed wearing that orange coat for like weeks and weeks and weeks. Like he can't believe that Orange Cassidy beat him.
1 year after winning the title at that event.
Exactly.
He's then like drowning in mimosa.
There's a lot of meat on the bone there. There's a lot of mimosa on the bone, I guess you could say. But we also have a match that a lot of people were surprised to see on the buy-in. The Tooth and Nail match. Big Swole, Britt Baker. How do you think this one goes? Admittedly, I had to cruise through AEW Dynamite. I saw a lot of people thinking that it was going to be a cinematic match. I think that would honestly be the best bet right now, considering Britt hasn't wrestled in quite a while. And when she does, somebody on the roster hurts her really badly.
Yeah, well, I believe it was Meltzer that was saying on Wrestling Observer Radio that it's a cinematic match. So I don't know if it is, but that's kind of that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Which is why it makes sense that it's on the buy-in. Like, I was really surprised that it was on the buy-in, but then as soon as I found out, well, apparently it's a cinematic, I was like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense that it's on the buy-in then. But I've got Big Swole to win here. Although it's in Britt Baker's arena, they're fighting in a dentistry. I think surely again the heel's got to get their comeuppance in this period of time.
And AEW's like very lucky to get Britt Baker back. I didn't think she was even going to be ready for this. I don't think she had an injury before she ever came to AEW, and she's broken her nose and bloodied her face and fractured her leg, like all these things that are going on. And I think a cinematic match best serves them. Do you think, by the way, I've got Britt Baker to win this, but Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara, do you think a cinematic match would fit them considering his history? Or do you think this is more of a make good for, hey, we were supposed to give you a lot more time than what you had. Here's 10, 15 minutes.
That's what I feel like. It's very much a make good, because that feel like it's been thrown together at the last minute. Like, it wasn't announced on TV. It was kind of announced on social media. And then on Dynamite this week, it was just a 90-second video package to be like, hey, by the way, this match is also happening at All Out if you didn't check Twitter. So yeah, I think it's very much a make do. And there's just go out there and have the match that we promised you could have a couple of days ago.
I feel terrible for Matt Hardy because absolutely nothing that was supposed to happen did. Like, there was no blood and guts. There was no, when he was supposed to have his first match with Sammy got suspended. Then Sammy comes back, a chair is thrown in his face. Then they do the blow off, and like it's a 7-minute match. I feel really bad for this guy who made the move from WWE, where he could have just gotten paid a lot of money for a long time, to this. This is still more creatively satisfying than whatever he would be doing. I don't know, counseling Jeff through his alcohol addiction or something.
Oh man, yeah, I also feel really bad for Matt. Like in particular as well, because he went, he left WWE where he had those creative shackles on him to go to AEW so he could be free again and be that broken character. And all the fans told him was just like, yeah, I don't think we like the broken character anymore. So he had to like cut that promo on Dynamite where it's like, hey, apparently you fans don't like me doing that. So I'm just going to be regular old Matt Hardy again.
I admire it. He told me last year, it was actually a year ago, like last week, he's got 2 more gimmicks that he considers like industry changing, just ready in case. Just in case.
It's not the Angelic Diablo again, is it?
I hope not. See, the thing is, I thought Big Money Matt was an amazing gimmick, but he found broken and he was like, this is better. This is
That's
better.
The one, yeah.
We got to pivot. We got to pivot. Casino Battle Royale, we know that Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Phoenix, Pentagon, The Butcher, The Blade, Eddie Kingston, some more are in this. The winner gets a title shot. I love this. There are some actual good pushed names. There are some former title challengers in here. I don't like the Casino Battle Royal concept. It's hard to shoot. It's hard to execute. I like the ladder match way better. Who do you think's going to win this? And what are your thoughts on that match overall?
Yeah, I don't like the Casino Battle Royale format either, because you got like 5 guys entering in at once. And we saw this last year when they did the women's one. It makes it impossible to do surprise entrance because oh man, Tenille Dashwood's here, but she's also accompanied by 4 other people who are walking into this match. So there's no real surprise there. So I kind of feel that I think the TBD, because they've announced 20 names for this 21 person match. So I think surely the TBD is going to be winning. I've got down Rusev, like Miro to debut and come in. I feel like if you're going to do TBD, it's got to be a good surprise. It can't be, Griff Garrison or something. It's got to be like someone that people's going to go like, oh man, what a shock. I didn't see that coming. But yeah, surely it's got to be a TBD.
Yeah, I see that Billy and Austin Gunn, Jake Hager, Santana, Ortiz, Chuck Taylor, Trent have since been added. That's a really good roster of people. Like I really like that. When like the one person that you're like, what are they doing in here is like Billy and Austin Gunn. I can deal with that. Sean Spears is in there as well. I think I'm going with the TBD as well. Otherwise, I think maybe Lance Archer, but I don't know. It's kind of fallen off a little bit there, but
yeah.
We have a match that I adore. Jurassic Express, Young Bucks. Loved the stakes on Dynamite and constantly JR saying somebody in this match is going to get a payday on the pay-per-view. Somebody isn't. And it makes you say, well, what's this match for? Well, it's for probably a better record. It is for a better record. And for money. You win, you make money. I like that. Jurassic Express, Young Bucks. Who you got?
I've got the Young Bucks to win here. I just think to further the storyline between them and FTR and Omega and Page, you just make like Jurassic Express also don't lose anything by losing to the Bucks either. And I think those 2 teams going out there will have a great match that I'm really looking forward to seeing. I also love as well, like you pointed out that JR was doing a great job of putting over the it's a payday. He was also really putting over the Young Bucks have not won the tag straps yet. And that was their big promise, was that they were going to be those tag champions, and they haven't. And they've really struggled in the tag team division in terms of, getting into that position. So I think that added a lot to their character of the drive that they need to win these matches and get on pay-per-view and win on pay-per-view. So I'm really looking forward to this.
That's one of the things I like most about AEW. They book winners in title matches, usually, unless it's an open challenge. Poor Private Party and SCU aren't even on the show in the Battle Royal.
I know. Oh, man.
But Scorpio is. Scorpio Sky teaming with Matt Cardona. Very glad I held off publishing my interview until this week. And the Natural Nightmares, who I'm kind of digging as a team, as like a lower mid-card team, against the Dark Order, who are white hot. This has got to be the Dark Order.
Yeah, right. It's got to be a Dark Order win. The only way I could see this not being a Dark Order win is if Matt Cardona pins Brody Lee to set up a TNT title match on Dynamite, like, or Cody returns. That's the only way. And I could very much see Cody returning here to continue the feud between him and Lee. But yeah, I've got to think the Dark Order are winning. You said it best. They're white hot at the moment. Like they feel like they're on a roll with this gimmick. So I think they need to continue with that.
I was there at Double or Nothing when the Dark Order debuted, and it was like, oh, really? Now we are at a point a year and a half later where I'm looking at this and I'm going, oh, darn, John Silver's not in this match. Because they're loaded right now.
So good.
He's great.
Like that tag match that they had on Dynamite a couple of weeks ago, it was really great.
Yeah, I'm really loving the Dark Order. They made them in one night, and the BTE stuff has been great. Speaking of great, Thunder Rosa is great. This is a woman. I interviewed her. It's dropping this weekend. She debuted in 2014, immediately got into Stardom, immediately got into Lucha Underground. When that ended, went to Ring of Honor. When that run ended, NWA. Now she's in AEW. Wow. Well, she ain't beating Hikaru Shida, but I think that given the roster that they had available, Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa is quite a matchup. Shida's winning this, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Shida down to win as well, but like my mortal sworn enemy, Mr. Davis, made the point that maybe this is where they're going to try and give the women's division an injection in the arm, and what better way to do that than the surprise double champion in Thunder Rosa?
That would be a big surprise.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a major
but
surprise.
I've got Shida to win.
Yeah, I do too. Tag team title match. Again, I love it. Winners facing winners. FTR against Omega and Page. I got FTR here, but to me, like if top two matches on this show to me are this and Moxley and MJF, Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa, I'm really excited for too. But for the titles, winners facing winners, and that's what I like to see.
Absolutely, I'm with you on that one. I'm so excited for this match. If the Revolution match between Omega, Page, and the Bucks is anything to go by, this is going to be an absolute like barnstormer of a match. Really excited to see FTR in there, but I've got Omega and Page to retain. I think that they are going to I think they're going to get on the same page in this match, and because I think that there's still layers to this match to build. I think you can do the triple threat tag match at Full Gear, and then you can build and continue to build to that Young Bucks FTR. A proper tag team match that we've all wanted to see. And I think there's a way to extend that out even further. And the way to do that is by Omega and Page retaining at this show.
It's not often you can build a triple threat tag team match as a legit pay-per-view main event, but I think they could do that with those three ingredients. I think that's a really good idea. Jon Moxley defends against MJF. MJF just barely missing the opportunity to be the youngest world champion ever, because I think Randy Orton was a little bit younger. But to me, he screams star. And right now, all of their singles champions, men's singles champions, have been former WWE guys, specifically former Intercontinental and Tag Team champions. Like they've had runs. I think this is a good opportunity to put the stamp on MJF and say, yeah, this is the guy for the next 20 years. What do you think?
I've also got MJF, man. You said as well, it's winners versus winners. They pointed out on Dynamite this week, both guys are basically undefeated. Jon Moxley's been undefeated all year long.
Yeah.
MJF's been undefeated since he debuted in AEW. This is two guys with flawless records that are someone's going to pick up their first loss. And that really excites me. And I didn't really know which way to go with this, but I think there's so much shenanigans to have with Wardlow at ringside. MJF using the diamond ring, even though he said he's going to win it with a wrestling move, the paradigm shift being banned. Like, I think there's a lot in here for MJF to get the win and walk out the youngest champion certainly in AEW history.
Yes.
That's how they'll spin it. It's the youngest champion in AEW history.
I was looking them all up. I was like, who was the youngest? And I knew Orton was the youngest, but then I looked, and it's by a matter of like a month or two. MJF was a little bit too old. He's over the hill. He's done. He's washed up.
I need to find a new guy now.
Well, Luke, tell them where they can find you. I mean, you hijacked Wrestletalk clips. I taught you how to hack. That's basically what happened. I taught you how to hack.
Thank you very much.
But tell the people where they can find you.
Hey, I'm on social media. I'm on Twitter at This Is Luke Owen, kind of like This Is Brody Lee, but it's Luke Owen instead. Go find me over there on Twitter. I've also got a podcast that reviews an old 90s UK video game show, which is what this shirt is, under consultation. It's a very old 90s Games Master. It's good stuff, though. Very much enjoying that. I've got a Patreon. But yeah, head on over. Wrestletalk. This coming Saturday, we're live streaming our reactions to All Out. It's me versus Mr. Davis. My job is on the line.
It is.
I don't want to lose my job. I've got bills to pay, man. I'm trying to buy a house.
I know.
I can't afford to be losing this job.
That, man, I'm in the same boat. Like, we were about to buy a house before all this went down. And now I'm like, man, he was in the same boat as me. I can relate. And we actually got a super chat during this. Christopher Jazzcat said, Luke on Fightful? Yes, please. Hey, we made it.
Please.
We made it happen. Guys, thumbs up, subscribe, tap the bell for notifications. Luke, thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, guys, we're out.